Like we always do about that time, you are in tune to the Know It All podcast. And man, got your usual suspects. My man, my mellow Big G and Tate Boy Fresh. Big G, what's popping, man? How you do?
Man, I'm telling all these people that don't think that the NFL Combine is much watch TV to go kick rocks. They can get to kicking and get to stepping. It's must watch TV this week because you're going to see some, when I'm talking about some Combine freaks, you're going to see some Combine freaks this week. I already got some intel, some insight on certain dudes. Boy, it's about to get unbelievable. So all y'all, no, I don't want to watch. You better watch the Combine because you're going to get familiar with some of the people that your team might draft in the 2026 draft.
Facts. Tate Boy Fresh, what's popping, man?
What's up, Ma? What's up, Big G? I'm sure you watch the Combine, you would see some freakish athletes, man. But I've been seeing freaks since I was 12 years old, Big G. So I'm just leave it there.
I'm just gonna I'm gonna move on, man. What's up, Juice, man? What popping, man? Hey, there she is, Christine Black and Gold. What's
Christine
poppin'?
Juice.
How you be? Listen, man. We thank you guys for showing up. Make sure that you like and subscribe. Like us on Facebook, subscribe on YouTube and Twitch. So when we go live, you'll definitely get those notifications. And if you're not a member of the Know It All Nation, make sure that you do that. Memberships are open. You have the opportunity to do that. Super chats are wide open. If you want to get your comment read, make sure that you do that by super chat. We appreciate it. It gives us the ability to keep giving you the content you know and you love. Big G, man. You ready for this? Tate, you ready for this? We got a great show, man. I am ready and excited to talk about draft content and to get this thing popping. We're going to be right back after this. We're going to hit you with the intro, and we will be right back after this. We are back. Listen, man, NIL in college athletics, I think is great. Name, image, and likeness. I think it's great. It gives kids the opportunity to get paid for their talent while colleges are cleaning up on their talent. So we're super happy about that in one aspect. But, bro, in other aspects at this point, man, there are some things that are happening that just got you shaking your head. We're going to talk about the basketball one, but let's talk about this too. Malachi Tony. Listen to what Malachi Tony is getting. For real. It just gives you the godlike illusion of $1.4 million plus $500K every year finished at the University of Miami. Unlimited access to Booster's private yacht. Private suite for the Dolphins home game. That's part of his NIL package.
Mm-hmm.
Who wouldn't feel like that the Don Dada at this point? You know what I'm saying? How would you feel if you're 18 years old and you got that type of access, Tate?
Hey man, I've been saying it. I've been saying it the whole time, man. It's out of control, right? I mean. And it's imbalanced the playing field. I mean, certain teams could match the money that they're giving Malachi, right? For on football, but when you throw in those perks, those are like professional perks and stuff. Access to private jets, box, suites at the Miami Dolphins game, all that kind of stuff. It makes the playing field more imbalanced from university to university, where it's already imbalanced. It just makes it more so. What if I'm the Washington Huskies You know what I mean? Or even another school. What if I'm Alabama? If you go to school in Tuscaloosa, you don't got access to none of that stuff. So it creates an unfairness in my opinion. And I think NIL is good in the fact that these athletes been being used for a long time, not getting what they rightly should have earned. We're earning for the universities and the schools, the programs and such. But also, and I've said it from the beginning, it was like Big-G. I heard Big-G call it initially the Wild Wild West, and that's what it is. And it needs to be some type of not that it needs to stop, some type of regulation, just like the NFL has a salary cap. You know what I mean? To make it fair, they need to come up with implement something along those lines.
Facts. G, what you think about this Malachi Tony before we go to college basketball?
I want him to get every piece of money he could possibly get. I wouldn't care if they gave him $5 million a season. Because it's long overdue. NIL was created because of the greed by these college university presidents, by these booster clubs, and these coaches for years, starting with the SEC conference, that overpaid players through backdoor means. That's why it was created. And so the deal is now, I understand that like how Tate's saying, people want regulations. But the issue is you can't, because this is what was going on behind closed doors for 40 years. For 40 years, it went on behind closed doors. But the best man won. The best person recruited the best player based on what he was able to give him. Now it's just all out front. So my issue and problem is that NIL is the creation of the lack of discipline and control for the NC2A. So if you're gonna blow it up, you better start by blowing up the NC2A. Blow up the NC2A and then get a governing body to come in and take over the whole shebang. Because without that, the NC2A is biased in their rulings or their opinions and what kids allowed to get what, where, and how. That's why it's an issue. So a lot of people, and I'm not talking about Tate or Mod, I'm just saying a lot of people these days are saying, oh, it's not fair. It's not a competitive balance. And it absolutely is. It's just now that you're seeing what people always had done behind closed doors going through the front door. And you're seeing who's actually getting money. So get every freaking penny you can get. Matter of fact, get some more. Y'all ain't paying him enough. Malachi Tony easily made you $1 million last year. Easily.
Big-G. I mean, I'm not disagreeing with you from a financial. We talking compensation and money. It's the perks I'm talking about. Mm-hmm. It's the perks, that part.
Mm-hmm. Well, there's always hidden money in perks. There's always hidden, because he might show up and get a box seat for like you said, the Miami, like Mon said, the Miami Dolphins, right? But we don't know what's all inclusive in that box seat for the Miami Dolphins tickets. People are always, in business, you're always going to have ways to hide money. And so that's why they gave him those little blanket coverages. I mean, he might liable to get up on a private plane and there's a suitcase full of money sitting right beside him. Who's to say? And somebody look at him and say, hey, man, pick that up. That's yours, dog.
Or better yet, you left this here.
Yeah. There's always been ways, always ways to pad the pockets of athletes, right? So, but like I said, if you're going to, and Tate, I'm not mad at the fact that you're saying that there needs to be some regulations, but that regulation means you need to blow the NC2A up forever and never exist ever again. And I don't think the powers that be are willing to do that. Because they feel like that they have some type of power, but they actually need to be blown up.
And G, you're right. That's our segue into this, Tate. So you have a college basketball player who is talking about sitting out, playing just enough games so he could get his NIL bread. Talk to me about this. How do you feel about that, man? I mean, how you feel about that? What's your personal feelings on that?
Well, we're talking about Darren Peterson. Mm-hmm. One of definitely the top 3 college basketball prospects in the country. Plays for the University of Kansas. Plays for a legendary coach in Bill Self. Man, I've been around so long. I remember when Bill Self was new. Wasn't even at Kansas. Now he's a legend.
Yep. Yeah, I remember when he first jumped in.
Right. I remember he was at Illinois and everything.
Yeah.
No, this kid went to the same high school as LeBron James. And as far as getting a bucket, he's probably the best player in the country at that particular skill set. Like 6'5", 6'6", shooting guard, can go get a basket, can create, can do all kind of stuff. But he signed with Kansas, getting huge NIL money, and somebody, his representation, whether it be an agent, a parent, or I don't know, but I really feel like they got the kid going about it all wrong. He's saying he's hurt when people are saying he's really not hurt. He's just saying he's hurt because he don't want to play. He is taking himself in and out of games, like checking himself out, right? Like not coach taking him out. He's like, I got to come out, and he goes out. The other day they were playing, was it Colorado? They were playing somebody. He hit a 3-point shot, and he just wants to get in to show what he can do, right? To showcase himself. We were talking backstage, and I think the NIL part of that too, it skews things, right? It makes the game less important. Yeah. I do deserve the athletes need to be paid, but if they getting paid while they wait to go to the pros now, right? They getting paid to wait. And some of them are taking advantage of that. He talking about, and that's Damien. Thanks for the $1.99 super chat. Certainly appreciate it. Brother Damien's my brother. But since you my brother, man, he's probably give me like $4.99 when I'm talking. But
wow.
He said what Peterson does now, he'll do later.
Yeah, which he's speaking to the people that are making the decisions in the NBA, which is why we were talking backstage. He's going to play himself out of the top pick. He'll be a pick because somebody always takes a gamble, right? But I really feel like he's making a mistake, and it's a bad look for college basketball. He's talking about sitting out the tournament, the March Madness and stuff. Now, whether he will or not, I don't know. He's talked about it, and I'm telling Mod and Big G right there, like, if I'm a teammate, I'm mad. You know what I mean? I'm mad. Yeah, I mean, because to me, you're not respecting the brotherhood of the team and what our goals are as a collective and all that stuff. So, he's gonna make his own bed. He's gonna lie. He's gonna making his own bed. He's gonna lie in it, however it turns out. But I just look at it like he's going about it the wrong way. And this is one of those things that the unregulated NIL produces also.
Yeah, G. How you feeling about this, bro?
This leads back to the conversation that we had either last week or the week before, or why I said all college basketball players need to go 2 years to college before they can even jump pro. Because this is a perfect example of a kid fully taking advantage of a team, and he's not really committed to anything. He does not have public advisory. So what that means is there's not anybody who's come up front and said, I am advising this kid, which means that he's getting counsel from multitude different places, right? Could be his family, his friends who's influencing, could be an agent, could be someone from an NIL from the University of Kansas, but he's got a lot of voices in the room, right? Which is never really productive for a kid because they can't be focused to go in one particular direction concerning what they want to do. Now, the unfortunate thing is that he's maybe the first of his kind. You're going to see this happen more and more and more and more. And this is why I've been screaming because college basketball is the only sport out of all the major sports, baseball, football, basketball, that they don't have where you got to go 2 years. Baseball, you can get drafted, but you still got to go back and perform so many years unless you go directly to the pros. And they don't start you in the show. They start you in AA and AAA. Sometimes even single A, right? Right. Football, you got to go 3 years, okay? College basketball is like the Wild Wild West. And so now these kids know that the current rule is I got to sit one. I got to be 1 year removed. I don't want to go to the G League because my game might get exposed. So I'm going to go play against lesser talent at the collegiate ranks. I'm not going to risk injury. I'm not going to allow anything of these things happen to me. And what I'm going to do is ultimately disappoint the fan base, my teams, the universities, and everybody that's paying me to be at that university. So this is why I'm screaming. I've been screaming 2 years college basketball. Listen, if it was good for Michael Jordan, if it was good for Hakeem Olajuwon, if it was good for Patrick Ewing, I mean, I'll go down the list of guys that had to go. Isaiah Thomas went 2 years, a list over and over and over again. They've changed the rules. Allen Iverson went 2, but they've changed the rules over and over and over again for getting certain players into the league faster because the NBA is greedy. So they'll change the rules. So I'm just saying that get rid of all this diabolical guy going here and there. You're behind going 2 years. We're going to pay you, but you're going to learn the game of basketball, and you're not going to learn because Damian is absolutely correct. If he's doing it now, he'll do it in the pros, and them is grown men. And one of them grown men will smack the taste out of his mouth. There'll be locker room rumbles in the National Basketball League. You don't believe me? Ask Mad Max. Ask Vernon Maxwell. There's a lot of rumbling going on in them locker rooms. So I'm just saying 2 years, bro.
The Dream didn't play it. The Dream did not play it.
He told him to stop it and smack sparks from him.
Sparks.
Yeah.
I agree with what the comment Damian said. I mean, if a man old enough to go to the military, he old enough to go play basketball if that's what he want to do. So you can't regulate it and make me go. If I come out of high school and I'm a basketball player, you can't make me go to a college and play basketball. You can't make me do it.
This was the argument we had last week, and not an argument for
debate.
It's the debate that we had last week. Is that it's not about the individual. This is about the integrity of the game. Because of these things that are happening to maintain. We won't have the game if it continues to go this way. If it goes this way, it's going to get out of control and nobody's going to support it anymore.
Yes,
that's going to happen.
How's Darren Peterson playing 2 years gonna make it better? You just do 2 years of the same shit. What's gonna make it better for him in this case like he is?
Well, he won't do 2 years like that. I guarantee you. If he knows he has to do 2 years, he's gonna play.
His whole attitude is going to change from the day he steps on campus if he's got to play 2 years. Now, he could possibly do it year 2, but the day he gets there, he's not going to do some of the things you've done. And I'm telling you this. Trust me on this one. College basketball has a bigger chance of wrecking NIL more than college football does. College basketball can mess the whole thing up because it's straight up. There's no regulations. People are just pissed off at football players about how much money they make from NIL. But listen, we know you got to play 3 years in college football. We know that.
And CG, this is the thing. With college football in NIL, it's done right. I mean, they're getting paid a lot of money and they're getting these perks and all of that. It's a lot, right? But it's still being done right. The quality of the game has stepped up a notch.
Correct.
Since NIL, let's go. So, but if you look at college basketball, it's just it needs some tinkering.
Did you guys watch any of that Michigan Duke game yesterday? It was a great game. When the best teams play the best teams, you get the best matchups, just like in football. So I'm going to stand in defense of the college basketball product because in college basketball, there's way more teams than there are football teams, and the disparity with 5 men on the court where one really, really great player can dictate more in the game than you can on the field with 11 players on your team is going to look different. So the teams with the best players traditionally are going to win those games. But if you watch that game yesterday, it was a great game down to the end.
Right. I'm saying the overall product. There's going to be more and more kids like Patterson than you listen. He just opened up the floodgates.
Opened it up.
There's going to be more and more kids like him in college basketball every year because once they let one kid do it and get away with it, now all of them's going to do it to get away with it. And it doesn't matter who the coach is, what the university is, how much money they're paying you, because they're already paying you as a professional athlete.
And you know the NBA is starting to do something about this load management thing, and they're going to do something about the tanking thing. So that's got to translate on the college game as well. So honestly, like I said, when it comes down to it, it is not about the individual person. It is about the integrity of the whole thing.
Which is why the NC2A is looking into Patterson. Right now, as we speak, the NC2A is looking into him, and they're trying to find out who told him he could check himself out of the game, who told him he could have load management, this, that, and this, because they're trying to figure out who's influencing this kid, right? Because they know what happened, And the NC2A don't look into schools like that and watch kids how they play and all A, B, C, and D. They're paying attention to him because they know once he opens this thing up, it's going to get bananas.
It'll go
and
right.
they don't want that. They don't want to have to deal with the lack of that product. Tate, you're absolutely correct. When good teams play each other, yes. But the issue is they don't want to have to deal with that mess for 1 year. Heck no, I'm not dealing with that for 1 year.
Hey, Tate, we got somebody who got some pom-poms out. Tate, you're killing your co-host, and if you're good enough, then you should be able to join any league. Stop killing them, Tate. Claude Bishop, thank you, man, for the $5. But put your pom-poms up, brother.
You lucky, Claude, you lucky. You lucky I ain't into controls right now, Claude. Cause see, you running Jedi mind trick right now. You know.
Oh my
No,
God.
he just agreeing with me, and I completely obviously agree with him, which I hardly ever say, maybe 10% of the time, but probably about 12% of the time with Big G. So Claude, you and Big G about run neck and neck far as are agreeing with each other. But I mean, it's absolutely right. I mean, these are adults. And y'all want to say, no, you got to stay in school.
Wait a minute. No. I would push back on that too. And Claude, thank you so much for the $5, sir.
Mm-hmm.
And I appreciate your comment. If we mess with you. But here's the deal. 18 years old, you're not an adult, my guy. You can't even be tried as an adult at that point. You know what I'm saying?
You can't be tried as an adult. What are you talking about?
Depending on what state you can be tried. In Ohio, you can be tried as an adult.
Okay,
at 18 years old.
For certain crimes. But what I'm saying is you can't even
wait, I need to know where you can't be tried as an adult at. I ain't never heard that.
Hold on. You can't drink till you're 21. Let's go there. Let's start there. Let's move back and start there. So what I'm saying to you here is when we're talking about this whole thing, you're saying that they're an adult. They haven't, man, especially with young boys. Your mind as a young man don't form well till it's 24. So I don't even want to hear that. Like an adult, you're not an adult till you pass that 21-year-old, and that's 2 years removed from college, right?
From high
school, 2 years removed, right?
So your mind don't function well until a certain age. But if it's my 18th birthday and tomorrow I turn around and go rob a bank, they ain't gonna say, "Oh, he wasn't thinking right. He young."
Well, here's what I'm saying to you, man. What I'm saying to you at this point, the decisions you make at 18 won't be the decisions you make at 21. It still needs to be 2 years removed from high school. Give you the opportunity. You're not an adult at 18. Give you the opportunity to get some college under your belt. Also get some money in your pocket because nobody's stopping you from making money. You're making money and $1.4 million. That ain't money to you. That's money, right?
Well,
is that money to you, G? That's money to me.
I understand that. But the issue is the lack of regulations from the NC2A. That's the issue. It's not fair across the board. It is not fair. College basketball is one way. College football is another way, and it shouldn't be.
G, I'm addressing the issue where it said we're stopping them from making a living. You're making a living by getting $1.4 million. That's a living.
And Cooper Flag, had he been able to come out as a rookie right now, he was 17 when he got to the NBA, but he played one year college, is signing a $62 million contract. What are we talking about 1.4 million? You can't stop me from getting it for today.
That's a living.
But Tate,
a living with $1.4 million.
Tate,
but you hitting a lick with 63.
Okay, but wait a minute.
To Duke for a year.
They did it to every other NBA player except for like 5. Every other great, famous NBA player. They changed the rules about 5 times to allow a high school kid to jump. After that, they made every other great NBA player had to sit for at least 2 before they went to the league. Those are the guys they changed the rules for right there. Kobe fell up underneath between KD and McGrady. LBJ, Kobe fell up underneath KD and McGrady. They changed it for a 3-year period.
He means KG.
Yes, KG and McGrady, Kobe fell in between them two. They changed it for Moses Malone and LBJ, but they always changed it back. The NC2A always changed it back. Always, every time they changed it back.
Fact.
So because they wanted the product in the league.
by doing that again, you making the game more messy because now you get dudes that don't want to go to school. They just going to school to get paid. They don't want to be in school. They not collegiate athletes no more. So
well, then this goes back to what I've been saying for years. When we started talking about all this NIL and all whatever else, make them professional athletes. They are no longer students. They're employees. So as an employee, you can unionize. You got rights as an employee. So because the middle ground ain't working for this. If they can't be student athletes and do what they do, make them employees. Now they're employees of the university, and that means they should have a workers union and all the other things that go along with it. So that way there's some level of regulation.
Hey,
but they can't have it both ways.
Big G, that's exactly right. Damian, thank you so much. You did what your brother asked you to. You gave $4.99. Look, he said, if a company wants to pay me triple what my current employee pays, I have the right to go. It's labor laws involved.
Facts.
And that's what G just said.
Facts.
Unionize. If you want to do that, unionize. Period.
Facts.
Point blank.
They're not athletes. They're not college students no more. They're employees. And I've been saying that for 3 years.
You've been hollering that for 3 years.
For 3 years. You can't be in the middle.
Starting with the Northwestern basketball team. You've been saying that since then, I know. Because they tried to unionize.
Facts.
It was another smaller school, this Ivy League school, I believe.
It was a D2 school that tried it too. And they was like,
Yeah.
But I've been saying it for 3 years that they're not students, they're not athletes, they're employees.
My last comment on this, G and Mod, is I think that G's right, and I also think that I mean, if a player is old enough, he's 18, he wants to go pro. To me, you can't make me go to college. And I think the rules were changed, Big G, but I think it's because of situations like this where it comes up again. They always revisit it, and then they change and they revisit it again. Like, oh yeah, it really ain't working, and they change it back. I don't think they change it for an individual or another. I just think the time cycle. You get some people that say, "Oh, I want to come out." Well, you can't. Then you get some people to fight for a minute, a few cycles in a row. Then they change it. Then they look like, "Oh, it ain't working." The athletes need to develop more, and they change it again. I don't think they're doing it for no one-offs just to let this guy go pro or that guy not go pro. Because what you will find is some of these guys can go overseas and get paid more money than NIL deals.
That's
like,
true. And that's basketball.
Brandon
Absolutely.
Jennings went overseas to play 1 year, and it wasn't no NIL deal, and he didn't want to go to college. So he said, I'm going to get paid just like they go to the G League now. The great players will get paid more money. The great players, right? The ones we were talking about backstage or even on here. Darren for Kansas, Bansta for BYU. And then Duke don't got to worry about it because his dad is rich. Duke, Boozer, right?
His daddy played in the league for 14 years.
Right.
Yeah, Cameron Boozer.
His brother better stay. His brother wouldn't get money.
Yeah, absolutely.
Cam can go next year.
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
I put up Damian's last comment.
Hey, I'm gonna do that. You guys, thank you. This was a great discussion. Really appreciate it. I think we got some good talking points out of here. Let's see. Damian's last comment with Maurice Florette saga was about this as well. And
that's 100% facts.
G, let's go ahead and we'll pass this one off because we got a lot of draft content that we need to get on to and begin to speak about. So this week, Underwear Olympics is starting. Tomorrow, the doctors get a chance to start looking at a lot of these prospects that we have coming into the league this year.
They're there now. They're in Indianapolis. They got started, checked on them today. They're there now.
So we're talking about this, and of course, our favorite team, Steelers, Cowboys. We're looking at, of course, who we want these guys to draft, but overall, we want to take a deep dive and a look into who is at the combine and who you should be paying attention to, right? So the purpose of the combine is definitely what G said. Everything is under advisement. They're looking at your height. They're looking at your weight. They're measuring your hands. They're measuring your feet. They're looking into your history, because they're about to spend millions of dollars on you. They're running sonograms, full body sonograms on you, and they're looking at everything. They're finding heart murmurs, things that cats didn't even know that they had. So it's very important that, when you get an invite to the combine, it's very important that these guys are looked over and, they take their time with them. But the most important thing is you have an opportunity from because everybody can say, okay, well, this guy only runs shallow crosses. He as a wide receiver, he was always in the slot. He's never, had to get off press coverage. This is an opportunity for guys to take their draft stock through the roof by just measurables and their attributes. Talk to me about that, G.
It's absolutely true, but you can tank your stock as well. Your stock can go up and down. To me, Ahmad, you're absolutely correct about all the things you highlighted and pointed out concerning what can happen at the draft. But the biggest thing, what happens at the NFL Combine, is that you compare apples to apples. When a guy lines up and they say, okay, he's 6'4", 210 pounds, and he runs a 4.48, right? There's no lying behind that, right? So they already got predetermined tape where they've watched over and over again concerning the player. But then now, okay, we're going to actually take a tape measure. Oh, no, he's not 6'4". He's 6'3", right? No, he's not 208 pounds. He's really 204. Oh, no, he doesn't have a 40-inch vertical jump. He's got a 36-inch vertical jump. Because really, this is the first process steps. Because most of the top players will get a home NFL day where the NFL teams will flock to a particular university and watch all these kids work out again, right? So you really get two shots at it. But this is the actual opportunity for you to be apples to apples. So some of those kids are going to go in there and they're like, man, I heard, because, some NFL people don't even pay attention to these kids until they actually get to the combine. Then you get little here's and there's or insides and outsides about what they really are. But now you don't really start paying attention and now. And there's going to be some kids that they're going to freak. I can go and name at least 10 different times where I knew a kid's draft stock jumped all the way into the first round based on what he did at the combine. And they was never first round prospects. But because what he did at the combine, it put him in the first round.
Yeah, definitely. And G, you're absolutely right. Give the floor to Tate, but you're absolutely right. A lot of scouts haven't watched film on these guys as of yet, right? But if you pop in the combine, they're gonna go and watch that film. Tate, talk to me, man, about what we've been saying about the combine, your ideals, and what do you think about this week at the combine?
I mean, it's a place where NFL organization, coaches and assistant coaches and staffs, they get to know people. I mean, it's not just on the field stuff. It's in the conference room stuff too, right? I mean, they want to know your personality. They get deep into your history and your physiological mindset and all that kind of stuff like that. I believe it wasn't Dez Bryant, the kid that played at Oklahoma State before Dez Bryant. The receiver, Blackman. Justin Blackman.
Justin Blackman.
No, it was Justin Blackman.
Justin Blackman.
And they asked him about. They heard his mom was a prostitute. There's like all kind of just diabolical stuff. They get into your business, can even be offensive. Now maybe they doing that on purpose, or maybe they doing that to test you to see how you react. You don't know. It's mind tricks to it. You know what I mean? So the Wonderlic score. They take they have quarterbacks and stuff in certain positions take those tests, and some of those tests are culturally biased too. You know what I mean?
Facts.
I mean, yeah. I mean, so you can't go off all that, but you gotta be prepared. That's some of the stuff you gotta be prepared for, like we were talking about. As far as on the field, I mean, and again, we talking about collegiate athletes taking over the game. Boy, you would love to get an invite to the combine back today. Now, you a top joker, you turning it down. I ain't going. I'm gonna go do the interview. I ain't doing nothing on the field though. You know what I mean? And why would you? Like Big G said, your stock can rise, your stock can fall too. You know,
Yeah.
you go out there, you have a bad day running that 40, you might lose 10 million just off that. So why risk it? So why risk it?
I
Damn,
mean, we know Dion drove up in the limo, came out in the sweatsuit and ran a 4.2 and then got in, didn't do nothing else. I mean, so it's been happening for a while, but it's
but he went. He went, and that 4.2 felt like I don't need to do no more. Yeah. They see table and everything else, but now with pro days and stuff like that, and everybody showing up to pro days, it wasn't like that 25 years ago.
Absolutely,
you know what I mean? It wasn't like that 25 years ago. That's why one of my biggest combine busts ever, just off the performance of the combine. I give you my two just off the top of my head, not doing any deep dive analysis, but most recent, Zach Wilson.
Wilson.
Horrible.
Yeah. Quarterback position, absolutely.
And I go to O lineman who's a workout.
Hold on, Zach Wilson.
That's big trash. Let's go, man.
Still in the league though. And I go this going back a minute. Big-G, remember Mod, you a little bit, but this go back in the day. Offensive lineman killed it at the combine, looked good in college and pro, was big trash. I think he turned from being a number 1 overall pick to being a serviceable lineman at one time. But that's one Tony Mandarich.
Yeah. Well, you know, allegedly there was some reasons why his performance on the field didn't look like how it was looking at college at Michigan State University. Allegedly, you know, there's some things he might have been ingesting. You know, I don't know if there's proof of that or not, but allegedly that was the issue.
Mine is Justin Ross and this guy who just got mentioned, DeMarcus Russell. Them boys, listen, DeMarcus Russell showed up at training camp eating a ham sandwich, driving a Cadillac with 2 white women. Hey, it was just bad.
He moved away a few years back. My dude G, shout out G. His name is Larry, but I don't know why they call him G. Because his last name Grimes. Shout out Larry Grimes in Alabama, but that's his nephew. DeMarcus Russell is his nephew.
Yeah, man. It was bad. It was bad. You know what I'm saying? But this year's combine, who's the guy that you're saying this guy's gonna help himself? This guy's gonna be a monster. Who's the guy you're excited about?
Who you asking? Tate or me?
I'm asking you, Tate.
Excited about? I'm not excited about seeing nobody do good, because if you're a Pittsburgh Steelers fan and you living in the middle, you got to hope somebody underperform at the combine so you can get your hands on them.
Well, I'm gonna start it this way. We're gonna talk about 2 linemen and we're gonna talk about 1 wide receiver. Okay. These 2 linemen, the reason why is, you know, these are guys that I believe that's gonna be taken high in the draft. And I believe that, number 1, the Steelers have an opportunity at both of these guys. And maybe one of them might be available when they pick. But let's go ahead. We'll start it here. Let's talk about Vega. Ione here for Penn State. His pass protection is his calling card, and it translates immediately to Sundays. This is a guy, 613 snaps in 2025. You know, he's the anchor, and he sets the anchors. He's getting, in his feet into the turf. Bull rushers can't overpower him, which is a good thing. He has a massive frame, natural leverage and balance. He plays with a controlled violence in the trenches. This is a guy who I compared to Tyler Booker. How would you feel about the Steelers getting this guy, Tate?
Well, I've been on the record saying how I feel about it. I mean, I know G's a big proponent of him, and I like the guy's old lineman. Just I'm not taking old lineman when I know wide receiver. If the top 4 wide receivers are going, we've said that before. That's Tate, that's Lemon, that's Boston, and that's Tyson. Well, all those 4 are going, then I don't know who y'all got, but the top 2 defensive backs. Now we need wide receiver, not counting quarterback. We need wide receiver. We need safety. We need DB. But I'm not spending the first round pick on the safety. I'm either going to trade back, or I'll take one of the top two DBs. If the top 4 receivers are going, the top 2 DBs is going, I would take him. or I would look at O-line or D-line. But before that, we literally have 2 wide receivers, and one of them is a special teams only guy. Only. So, it's been our problem for the past 2-3 years of the wide receiver room. We used to be really good at it. We've been really bad at it, and we need to add talent to that room. And I know it's guys other, but if one of the top 4 is there, I'm getting there. But I like the guy if the top 6 players is going between the wide receivers and the defensive cornerbacks.
Yeah. G, talk to me about Vega, man.
If Vega's sitting there at 21, the Pittsburgh Steelers should sprint the car to the table. I mean, it's just really that simple. I think that they would be able to solve a lot of the issues concerning the wide receiver room in free agency and later on in the draft. There's value and depth in the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th round of wide receiver. There's going to be guys that people don't even really know anything about that is going to hit at this combine, and they're going to be like, okay, we'll get this kid in the 2nd, we'll get this kid in the 3rd, we'll get this kid in the 4th. And it's actually where you can get depth at that position. Now, I understand the need for it, but this kid, Vega, I'm telling you, I just watched about 2 hours ago, I watched an hour cut up of him just doing pulling and blocking, inside trap, and just nasty at the point of attack. Listen, I'm telling you right now, he should have a top 10 grade. That's how good this guy is. Vega is a day 1 starter, and Vega's probably a top 3 guard within 2 years in the National Football League. That's how good of a player he is.
Agreed.
So, but I don't think he's going to be there at 21. Like I'm seeing a lot of mocks and going on all across the board. Everywhere I'm seeing he's top 15. So if there's any way he drops to us, you got to take him, because the one thing in the National Football League that's going to guarantee you to be the ability to win, protect your quarterback with the defense, with the offensive line, and get after the quarterback with your defensive line.
That's fact.
If you have those 2 things in place, the rest of the stuff you can work out via free agency later on in the draft. Because remember, you build your roster from rounds 3 through 7. Yeah. So that's really where you build your roster out at, is round 3 through 7. So I'm not so pressed to get a wide receiver in the 1st. I'm not because there's going to be guys available that and because we have 12 picks, we can maneuver that board after the 1st round any kind of way we want to. We can go get the dudes we actually want.
Yeah.
So if one of the top 4 receivers there, you still kept getting that guy?
I'm taking Vega.
Okay.
I'm taking Vega. I'm telling you, Vega's special. Let's just say this, and I don't say that about a lot of kids. Vega's actually special. Mark Cunningham, you're right. He's actually special. He's actually special. He's a little different, and he's a 10-year starter. He's a 10-year starter in the National Football League and a top guard within 3 years. A top guard.
Claude said Big G finally making a little sense. Claude,
that's because he biased with Penn State.
But I'm gonna tell you something. Vega's like that.
He is.
Like that. He's really like that.
Why is there talk about him potentially being there when Pittsburgh picks then? Why ain't he rated higher? I know he can rise, but why isn't he starting out there?
Well, because I'm gonna tell you that honestly, there's gonna be some other people who rise because of their stats to me. And there's going to be some, and when you look at teams are going to be value picking, right? And they're going to be picking for their particular roster. So anybody is subject to go up or down in the fall and slate. So I don't think it's a knock against his talent. I think it's just a team need kind of thing.
That's not why I say. Why I say is, the reason I'm saying is this, is because the 2026 NFL draft has more potential to have a position run than the last 4 drafts. There is more potential in the 2026 draft to have position runs that will throw the draft board into just straight muckery, right? You could see 4 top wide receivers go in the top 12. You could see 5 edge rushers go in the top 16. And that's going to throw everybody's draft board off. So the reason why I think that he could possibly fall to 21 is because the runs that could happen in this draft.
The runs, yeah, but the team's position and what they're picking, their needs, I think that they run hand in hand to me, right? You know what I'm saying? If a team needs, I need a wide receiver, but there's a run on edges, and I need an edge too. Let me grab this edge before I get this wide receiver. So it's literally the same thing. This guy, to me, is going to make some noise as well. Spencer Fanu, he is a guard, a tackle from Utah, 6'6", 302. Moves like a tight end trapped in a tackle's body. He really does have great feet, you guys. He fires independent hands and excellent timing to manipulate space and disrupt pass rush plans. Here's a guy that I would love to see the Steelers have. The reason why is because Mike McCarthy loves to run. If you think back a couple years, you had Tony Pollard, right? You had Tony Pollard, who was the running back for the Dallas Cowboys, and he got most of his yards on the outside zone run. A guy like Spencer Fanu, you have to have a dog with twinkle toes at the tackle, and you have to, with Tyron Smith was there at the time, and then you have to have a guard, Tyler Smith, somebody who can mollywop you right there. So you got the tackle and your guard in a zone running scheme that can hit to the outside off the tackle. That's what you need. This is a guy that you need who can actually pull to the left or to the right, who can work that zone scheme for you. I like this guy, man. Talk to me, G.
If he's there at 21, something really bad happened at the NFL Combine, because this kid is a top 5 pick. I mean, his tape alone tells you he's a top 5 kid pick. And I'm going to tell you something. I think he's going to play guard in the National Football League. I wouldn't be – now, he's a right tackle, but I think his best position in the National Football League is guard, because he's a mauler. He's a mauler. So, but in any other draft, any other normal scenario, he's a top 5 pick. You go get him. So if he's there at 21, something went really wrong at the Combine. Something went really, really wrong.
Or, again, one of those runs, a run happened, and teams got spooked and went out and start, gathering players at that position. Talk to me about this guy, Spencer Fanu.
I mean, I've heard about him. I don't know much about him. I just asked G if he's better than Vega. If you say he's a top 5 pick, I know they play different positions. As a prospect, is he better than Vega?
I think they're right with each other. The issue where Vega has got the competitive advantage, I think he'll measure better. I think Vega is going to measure somewhere close to around 335, 340 pounds, and he's legitimately got happy feet. Fanu is more like a Penny Sewell, but just not as big, right? But he's got a Penny Sewell motor. You could drop 25 pounds off Fanu and put him at tight end in the National Football League, and he'd be able to play for at least 5 years. That's how good of an athlete he is. But I think I think Vegas just got a competitive advantage, but Fanu should be the top. If not the Miami Hurricanes tackle, Fanu should be the number 1 tackle off the board. He should be the number 1 tackle off the board.
If the Steelers were to draft Fanu, I'm asking you because your Steeler opinion. How did he's a tackle? You said, but you think he could play guard? Would the Steelers drafting to play guard, or would they put him at tackle and move Fautanu? Is he a better tackle prospect than Fautanu?
I think you flip Fautanu.
Okay.
I think you flip Fautanu right off the back. You start him at right tackle. You flip Troy Fautanu to left guard, and it makes it simple. That's what I do.
I've heard talk that Fautanu did such a commendable job in his first year at tackle. Like he really showed flashes of being a Pro Bowl level left tackle minimum, that they shouldn't risk talking about that or doing that. I'm asking your thoughts, man.
Well, you got new offensive line coaches, right? Now, and this is the big thing. And this is going to make all the difference in the world for the Steelers in 2026. The coaching that's went into that room concerning both of those offensive line coaches. You got a wily old veteran, 61-year-old military dude that coached in the NFL forever. And then you got a youngster that was an intimate pro from the New Orleans Saints, right? So he's young enough to where he can identify with these dudes, get in their face and say, look, we're not having that. We're not doing that. So because of that, I think there needs to be a reevaluation of the line in totality by those coaches to say what position will put the kid in the best way to win. So if a guy like Fanu is available, you got to have that conversation with Troy. You know, you got to have it. You just have to. And what we're talking about is these guys getting to their second contract, right? So Troy did a good job at right tackle, but you could be a Pro Bowl left guard, you know, and that changes your psyche or how you think. Because I don't think there's any kid in our room that's just above moving to a different position on the line, because they're all a bunch of babies. They're all a bunch of babies, so that they would all move wherever they asked them to go.
Yeah, and here's the guy. After this, we're going to talk about high risers and people who we think is going to fall. Here's a guy who will likely be available for the Steelers unless there was a run. And this is a guy.
Man, he ain't
gonna
be there, man. Go ahead, Mark.
This is a guy right here, man. Denzel Boston, 6'4", 210, went to Washington, vice grip hands. Something you need to know: the brother only dropped one pass this year. One, dropped 4 in his whole career. That's why they say he has vice grip hands. One thing I want to show you right here, man. He's a blocking bully. This is a guy that when he goes to block, right here, look at him up top. In the block, he's taking on his block. Look at this.
Pancake.
Out of the ground.
Pancake. Jonah Coleman. Out of there.
Love it. And then when you look at him, he's making pro catches already in college. Look at this. Him up top. You'll see him getting a route up right there. Look at that. Set down, get to the corner, 2 feet down. That's a professional catch. Again, watch it from this different angle. This is what professionals do. This is called body control, and he's able to get 2 feet in. Pro pedigree. Watch this. Up, high points the ball, 2 feet in, come down. Well, I mean, it's beautiful. It's beautiful.
And a Steelers offense, Mod, that would look great if you had him opposite DK. I mean, because that's what you call a 3-by-1 formation, right? So you put him at the point of the 3-by-1, and you put DK outside of him. There's a lot of attention that's going to go to DK Metcalf. So now he can do a stop and go route and get one-on-one coverage with a cornerback. Well, most cornerbacks in the National Football League are around 5'11". He's 6'4". Yeah. So he's going to win the battle every single time. Single time. So, yeah, I feel it. But he ain't going to be there, bro. He ain't going to be there.
20 touchdowns in the last 2 years, and most of his touchdowns came on fade routes and 50-50 passes close to the end zone. Talk to me, man. Talk to me about Denzel Boston.
I really don't need to talk about it. If you've been tracking any of my mock drafts, he was my first player in my first mock draft. And the only reason I changed up from him in the second one is because the potential I was hearing that Jordan Tyson could drop because of some injury history concerns, and the fact that I think he might be just a little bit better, but he might not be, especially, Big G, I was messaging with y'all yesterday. I just found out David Boston was his dad. Mm-hmm. So it's pedigree in that. I like that opposite BDK, right? Now you got 2 big ones, because I do think you can get a herky-jerky slot kind of receiver with one of your third-round picks. You sign a free agent. Now your room is set. So if he's there, he's number 4 on my list of receivers, right? But if he's there versus the guard, I'm taking Boston because I need that more. Wait
a minute, sir. Who is your list of wide receivers? I need to know.
My list of wide receivers, I said them already. It's Tate, Lemon, Tyson, and Boston.
Ooh.
What are you thinking about?
I don't know. I don't know that. So
what do you say? What you thinking so I can?
No. So I'm sitting here and I'm thinking about my list of wide receivers, but Boston to me, if he runs a 4.4, he's in the top 3. He's gonna get behind Carnell Tate. He's gonna get behind Tyson, Jordan Tyson. and he'll be my number 3 wide receiver if he runs a 4-4.
If Denzel Boston drops and runs a 4-4-5 or 4-4-6, he's going to number 1.
Oh,
he's going to number 1.
If he run a 4-4-6, he's number 1 receiver.
He's going to pass Carnell Tate as the number 1 overall receiver in this draft. That's how good he is. The issue with him is he's slow. They say he runs a 4-5-2.
They say around a 4-6.
That's the issue.
Yeah,
that's the issue. But if he runs a 4-4-5, 4-4-6, hell, even a 4-4-8, and if he runs that, he's going to number 1. He's the first guy off the board.
But see, to me, to Mod's understand what G's saying. I mean, make that jump, I think he can jump to 2. He could pass Tyson because the injury concerns, but Tyson's the better route runner. He's also a contested catcher. I think he fits more what Mike McCarthy wants because he's comps got him compared to CD Lamb.
Yeah,
Mike McCarthy drafted CD Lamb.
That's facts.
But I do think, Ma, that top 4 can shift. I don't got Boston going to number 1. He could easily be 3 or 2, though. He just the one all projections to Gus' point says he's the 4th receiver. And that's why I say if one of the top 4 receivers is there at 21, I'm getting that guy before I get off the line. Because that's how bad we need that.
Understood. I like that. G, top 5 wide receivers.
Prior to tomorrow, when they start actually doing activity, yeah. I'm going Tyson 1, Lemon 2, Tate 3, Boston 4, and Omar Cooper 5.
Yeah, I agree.
Omar Cooper 5. Omar Cooper is a monster.
I agree. I've heard it out there, Big G. I heard he. Well, again, as projections stand right now, I heard he could pass Boston for the 4th slot.
Yeah, listen, I've been watching tape like crazy. And when I sat down on tape of certain players, I was like, man, there's no way these guys are getting out of the top 12. There's just no way. There's no way they're getting out of it. There's no way, God's green earth, Boston's getting out of the top 12. If he runs a 4-4-5, 4-4-6, he's not getting out of there.
No way.
Tyson's not getting out of there if he runs a 4-4-6, 4-4-7. He's top 10. He's out of there, bro. So there's certain guys that Tate has potential to slip. And that's fine too, because if he's, in my opinion, if he gets past 15 and the Steelers are at 21, you trade to go get him. Like, that's a guy you go get.
I'm not even saying, I'm saying 14. If he get to 15, I'm making a trade.
Yeah, you go get him.
Wow.
Yeah.
Y'all both are in agreement. You make that trade.
Yeah. You go get him.
Okay.
Because but it just depends. It really, like I said, but what could smoke the draft, and it happens every year, is that there's a run. Yeah. There's a run, and I got to sneak it.
You haven't figured out the run yet. Usually you call the run, and I'm gonna give you credit where credit is due. I think the guy who's really falling right now and who's gonna free fall out of this is KC Concepcion. I think he's gonna free fall into the 3rd round.
No,
not even the 2nd, the 3rd. Let me tell you why. Some stuff I've been hearing out of scouts throughout the league, and even your boy Steve Smith said it. Attitude issues. They said his attitude as in practice horrible, and they said that he is a party animal. That if he goes to a city, that's why he works so well in College Station, because it's nothing there, right? But they say if he goes to a city, he gets lost, and that is a big no when we're talking about draft stock and taking somebody high in the 1st and the 2nd round. You'll take a flyer on somebody like that in the 3rd, but I keep hearing that his stock is going to plummet.
I'm going to hit you with a G Stradamus. KC Concepcion is not getting past the Miami Dolphins 2nd pick. Whenever the Miami Dolphins 2nd pick is, not their 1st round, but KC Concepcion is not getting past the Miami Dolphins 2nd pick.
I'm gonna tell you, if he goes to Miami, G, it's Eddie Murphy party all the time.
I'm just telling you.
I'm
just telling you.
He gonna get lost. he's gonna drink himself out the league in about 2-3 years, man. It is what it is.
I'm just telling you, he's not getting past the Dolphins' second pick.
But my biggest riser, and he ain't even gonna be in the combine because he's still hurt. Chris Bell. Bell's he's my biggest riser. I sat down and I watched some film.
I tried to tell you.
And the comp that they're giving him, I was like, no way. You even said it. George Pickens. I was like,
I told you.
But he got those long strides like George. He's a bully on 50-50 passes. The bully, complete bully. And I think he's gonna end up going up teams. I mean, because he's likable. He's a likable person, and I think he's gonna go up in draft boards. He's gonna crack your top 5, 6 receivers.
The issue with him is the torn ACL. How soon will he be back? He didn't have surgery until November going into December. So how soon will he be ready for the start of the 2026 season? That's the issue. So if you take a guy in the first or the second round, you want him to start.
Fact.
Right? Is he going to be ready? I don't know. I don't know what but we'll hear about all that this week. But if he wasn't hurt, he'd be a top 5. He's 220 pounds.
Yeah, he would definitely be a top
5. And he's fast at 220. So yeah, he's not going to run or do anything. They're just measuring him out at the combine on this week. But any other draft, yeah.
Reginald, he's going to go in the second round. Easy. I mean, teams are going to take a flyer on him really fast. Mark Cunningham says KC has that plus a special teams guy, but attitude issues can hurt him if it's true. Yeah, I mean, they call him the wild man. That's a reputation that all of the scouts are saying. He's the wild man, and if you go to one of these major market teams, man, they have to be able to expect that you're going to show up and do what do what you're supposed to do and not be Deshaun Watson. You know what I mean? We need a person that if we're paying and investing this type of money in, we need for you to show up to the facility and spend 10 hours a day. A professional athlete, Big G, tell me if I'm wrong, a professional football player needs to spend between 8 to 10 hours at the facility every day.
It depends on
10 hours.
It depends on the coaching staff and what they're trying to accomplish.
Well, 3 to 5 of those hours are all about just rehabbing your body.
Correct.
3 to 5 of those hours. So the others getting acclimated to your offense, your teammates, and all of that. But 3 to 5 is all about, repairing your body and doing what you're supposed to do as a professional athlete to be in shape for that next year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm gonna say this, and I'm passing Mike to Tate. The guy who's going to fall the furthest, I'm telling you right now, and Pittsburgh Steelers, if you draft him, I'm going to go off. I was super high on this guy all until I started watching film. And I was like, there's absolutely no way we can take him. Do not draft Jaden Proctor, offensive tackle, Alabama. Absolutely no. Absolutely. He's a project. He has worse tendencies than Broderick Jones. He gives up the inside pass rush. He's got lazy hands and he's got lazy feet. Now he's gonna measure like Thanos. He's gonna measure like 6'7", about 340 something pounds, right? And he plays left tackle naturally at the University of Alabama. But I'm telling you right now, if the Steelers draft Jaden Proctor, somebody's getting fired. I don't know if it's Omar Khan. I don't know if it's Andy Waddle. But if they draft Jaden Proctor in the first round, I do not need any more projects anywhere for the Pittsburgh Steelers in the first 3 rounds. The first 3 rounds for the Steelers need to be plug and play starters. Jaden Proctor is a project. He's not going to work for Pittsburgh at the left tackle. So I'm not doing it. That's the guy who I know is going to fall the furthest. There's no freaking way I'm taking him. No way. No way I'm taking him. I done watched too much film on him. I'm like, no. He's gotten progressively worse. He has not gotten better. His film gets worse. So now if I could have got him as a sophomore, yeah. This year, nah.
Yeah.
Jeremy Bernard, wide receiver of Alabama.
Not over Branch, Zachariah Branch. Tate, talk to me, bro.
Well, I heard you allude to your risers on the on the board, and I got two. I think I've been kind of grabbing in mock drafts some of the early ones. I hadn't done one in a week and a half, but some of the early ones I think that were available then, after the combine, after the the college Senior Bowl set and those East-West Shrine game and those things. Now that all that film has been studied and coaches were there and reviewing that stuff. And the two players, obviously, I said I've been noticing because I'm interested for the Steelers. But the first one, the one that's going to rise, I believe, is you was getting him in the 6th and 7th round. The edge, Rager out of Wisconsin.
Yes, absolutely.
You can hang that 7-6 round up. You better come up to that 4th minimum.
Yeah.
Minimum.
Yeah.
4th minimum. And my other guy, I think he might be a day 2 guy now. I mean, earlier in day 2, I think he's always day 2 guy. Earlier day 2, and that's the safety, because I said Pittsburgh needs safety. That's Bud Clark at TCU. 6'2", 190, fast. Yeah. We need a free. I think he's a riser too. So those are my two guys that I like that I don't think will be there where I got them initially in the initial mocks. I like those guys, and I think if you're Pittsburgh, you got to be willing to come up a round or two on each of those guys if you want them. You thought you could get them a month ago. Yesterday's price ain't today's price. Just like the dope game, y'all.
You're absolutely right, man. I mean, so if we're looking at across the board and we're looking at offense, let's just talk offense. The first we've already established wide receiver needs. Knowing Mike McCarthy the way that I know Mike McCarthy, right? Pittsburgh's gonna need another tight end. Jonnu's gone, right?
Well, he's a $10 million cap casualty. So yeah, of course.
He's out of here. So you got Muth and Washington. That's it. And Hayward is gonna be gone because he was your hybrid tight end.
Nah, you might be able to get Hayward for cheap, but we'll see.
Yeah, he might stay.
So here's my my tight end thing and my tight end theory. If all the wide receivers are gone, if the two linemen that we said, hey, is here, do we go Caden McDonald or Kenyon Sadiq if he's available? Gee, talk to me. Kenyon Sadiq.
Let me just say this. I just did a Draft Lab special over on Steelers Almighty with my boy Big B. We went in depth about tight end room. And like I had to watch a lot of film before because some of the guys I didn't see it. Sadiq is a special talent, man. Like he's Travis Kelce, but faster. And he can block and he can run. But I'm just going to be honest. If they draft the tight end at 21, they need to fire Omar Khan that day. Oh, there's no way you draft a tight end at 21. You need to fire Omar Khan that day. Like fire him.
But what if because Mike McCarthy has banged on the table. I mean, Luke Schoonmaker was his pick.
I understand that.
He banged on the table for a tight end because he's had Dalton Schultz. He's had Fergie, and he got Schoonmaker thinking that he would be that guy. So my thought process is, if Kenyon Sadiq is there, he's special enough to take a flyer on. But you say no. Talk to me. How you feeling about that?
I'm in the same boat, Big G, and hope we don't sink because we both too big to be in a rowboat together. So hope we don't sink. But yeah, man, the tight end is not in need. I mean, you got Pat Frymouth, you got Darnell Washington. You don't draft another tight end at that high of a premium. Now, if the best tight end was him in the second round, you take him because he BPA. But in the first round, you can't even think about that. You know what I mean? So I like him a lot. I like him a lot, but nah, I can't do that.
Tate, I'm gonna tell you too, man. And listen, this is for the Yinzies. I wouldn't be shocked if Muth got traded.
I wouldn't be shocked.
I wouldn't be shocked. I would not be shocked, even though I know that Muth is going to excel possibly in a Mike McCarthy system. I wouldn't be shocked because one thing I've had to pay attention to Mike Wazowski McCarthy as far as a coach. These are two things that he does. He always gets his tight end. And he always gets his quarterback. He always gets a tight end that he develops and turns into a monster. And he always gets his quarterback. That's been a consistent pattern from him all the way back from his first coaching job with Green Bay. He had Mercedes Lewis. He had Jermichael Finley. I mean, the list goes on and on about guys he drafted in Green Bay. Okay? He always gets his tight end, and he always gets his quarterback. So, there's no way in God's green earth you draft that kid. But there's value. I like the tight end out of Baylor. The tight end out of Baylor is a dog. Michael Trigg, he's a killer. Yeah. Michael Trigg is a killer, man. And Eli Stowers from Vanderbilt, he going to make a whole lot of money this week because I'm hearing he going to run a 4.4. I'm hearing he going to run a 4.45 at about 245, 250. Oh! Hey. Oh, he going to make a lot of money. He's going to make a lot of money.
I'm going to tell you who else is, and yeah, I'm just knowing Mike Wazowski, you got me calling him that. Knowing Mike McCarthy, it's a guy that he likes, man. I'm telling you, it's his type of guy. John Michael Gillenborg, tight end out of Wisconsin. I mean, out of not Wisconsin, Wyoming. I knew it was
correct. Correct.
Either 6'5" guy runs a 4.5 40, and this is a guy. He runs 4.6, excuse me, but I think he'll run a 4.5. And I bet it's a guy that Mike will be looking at second, third round, that without a shadow of a doubt, because they'll be there, right? Yeah. I think this is a McCarthy guy, and you're gonna see Lake McCree also, but he's too slow. But he puts me in the mind. Lake from USC puts me in the mind of Schoonmaker, and for the life of me, I don't know what he saw in Luke Schoonmaker. I still don't know what he saw in Luke Schoonmaker, and it really baffles me. But again, when we're talking tight end at this place, that's a guy I think he'll take late in the rounds. What you think, G?
Absolutely. I mean, I've identified guys. You can always win with a Stanford tight end. Sam Roush out of Stanford, definitely. Michael Trigg out of Baylor. Martin Klein, the tight end out of Michigan. These are all guys that fit. They're human. They're not as big as Darnell Washington, but they're all 6'5", 6'6", 265, Big-G. 270 pounds. So
I don't remember his name. The tight end out of LSU though.
I don't think he went pro. I think he's coming back next year. He's not a top 15 prospect at tight end.
I'm almost positive he didn't go pro.
Yeah, I don't think he went. I don't think he went to the NFL.
That's why my eye was on number 14.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't think he went pro.
Yeah, Tate, your tight end third round. You said that's what we believe in.
I'm not looking for no tight end. I mean, if you trade Muth, that changes the discussion. You
Correct.
trade Muth, and then Sadiq is an option. I mean, even at 21, because you need a weapon. Now, you still want another receiver and get one in free agency, but you're adding a weapon that's more explosive than what Muth is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like because then you can draft another tight end later, but to me, he's like we talk about the top 4 receivers. Mm-hmm. He's the top playmaking tight end to me. Playmaking, I ain't talking about it in totality, in line blocking, playmaking. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I like him a lot. Now, if that's the case, the thing is, we gotta wait and see if that happens. But yeah, I'm not interested in tight end in probably round 4. My first 5 picks got to be positions of need. I got to give you. Here
we go. I'm glad you said that. Perfect segue. Do you take a running back in those first 3 to 4 picks?
No.
Okay.
Oh. So you're saying round 1, round 2, and the 3 picks in round 3?
First 5 picks. I'm not getting a running back.
I am.
Okay.
I'm taking a running back. I'm taking with that last pick in the third. If Singleton is there from Penn State, I'm taking it.
I like him. Or
Coleman. If Coleman is there from Washington, I'm taking him. If Coleman from Washington is there or Singleton is there, I'm taking him.
I like them, G. But first, I got to see, before I'm putting any more equity capital in that, I got to see what Caleb Johnson is. I ain't seen that yet. So before I spend one of my top 100 picks on another running back, and I got Caleb Johnson at pick 83 last year, huh?
How many running backs are in the room currently?
Always 3.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's Warren for sure, Caleb Johnson for sure. If you don't bring Gainwell back, maybe Mike McCarthy signs your boy Dowdell. So, but still at that, Jalen Warren's an undrafted free agent. Caleb Johnson's a 3rd-round pick. I know I can get me another running back. Look how the running backs fell last year. Good running backs. So my first 5 picks, I got to get me priority, wide receiver. I got to get a safety and a DB and 2 offensive and defensive linemen. They're right there. Don't got to be in them orders, but them the 5 positions I need. I can't pick out of them. I could get a linebacker. I could get it depending on who's there. The linebacker to me would be between the linebacker and a DB, but I need a safety, I need a receiver, and I need another defensive lineman of any sort.
Well, this depends on what happens with your middle linebacker if y'all let him go.
Yeah, know a lot more. Yeah.
Yeah. Here's the deal. So, all right. So now we're talking about those positions. We've already brought up Bud. Who's the other safety that we would be looking at in the draft, and where would you pick him at? And I'll start with you, Big-G.
What safety I would get?
Yeah, what safety we be looking at in the draft?
Well, it depends on how I get my need. If I get my need, what I really need taken care of in the first round. First of all, let me say this: free agency is going to solve a lot of these issues, right? And I think the Steelers are going to ultimately be aggressive. It's going to solve some issues, right? But after we're going to go do the Underwear Olympics. We're going to set the pro days, and then we got to become aggressive in free agency. I think we can get a safety in free agency. I'm hearing that LaPue and Asante Samuel Jr. is going to both come back to Pittsburgh. So at that point, I don't need a corner. I'm good. So I need if I get a safety in free agency and
Did he freeze?
Whoa.
Okay.
Well, we went dead. Yeah. If I sign a safety, and I get both of those guys back at corner, right? Now that changes the complexity of what I need from a defensive standpoint. So I believe that the Steelers are going to get that. I believe they're going to get free agent safety. They're going to sign back LaPue. They're going to sign back Asante Samuel. Now there's our corners room. We're set. So now that puts more emphasis on doing offensive players, which I think that they need to go, right? I know eventually we're going to need another defensive tackle. So that's what I mean by, yes, we're going to go to the Underwear Olympics and we're going to ramp and rave about guys that we want. But the free agency frenzy that starts basically in 2 weeks is going to change everything to what we do concerning draft boards. And I really do believe that's what we're going to do. We're going to sign a safety and sign back LaPue and Samuel.
But if you don't,
allow me to follow up real quick off what G said, because it's about the Steelers. I don't want to sign a safety in free agency. I think the Steelers need their own young safety. They need to groom. They need to bring that guy in and have him for the next 8 years. A young safety, homegrown, that you bring in and you groom. My opinion on that. Cornerback.
You wouldn't sign Minka?
But I still would have to draft one. Minka grade be 28, 29 years old. I would sign him if they could, but it sounds like the other day with Kirby, we might have been wrong. It's a 2-year thing. That's the way they could get him. If Miami cuts him, nobody claims him on waivers or something, you could get him, but you can't just sign him back. But I would sign him, and I still would draft how important it is. You need your own young guy. Look how many safeties we've been rotating through for the past. Look how many wide receivers we've been rotating through the past 3 years. I mean, literally, the safety room, wide receiver room has been a revolving door. We need to address that. I also think the DB, you need young talent. You got PZ Jr. Pierre Gray be 30 years old. Sante Samuel, you don't know. I like him a lot. You don't know if he a hit away from hurting that neck again. You don't know. You need to get a young guy in there opposite Porter because you ain't get Porter the bag. He about to be your shutdown corner. Now you need another talented guy over there on the cheap.
All right.
You know what I mean?
So this is my question. Well, for cornerback and for safety, right? We're gonna get through this and then we're gonna talk about linebacker and then we're gonna call it a day. We know Caleb Downs is gone. Who are we talking about? Are we talking about Dylan Thieneman from Oregon? Are we talking about Michael Taft from Texas?
No. The next safety on the board is the Toledo safety.
Yeah, Freeman.
And the TCU safety.
Bud Clark. One of them two.
McNeil
one
Warren.
of them two. Yeah,
so we're talking about him.
Warren.
Okay, so we like McNeil Warren. I mean, he's a poor man's Caleb Downs. Now he's 6'2", 4'5", 202 pounds. I like it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And what I've heard, he's really sticky. He really and it can play in the zone really well. So those are the things.
If he would have played at a tier 1 D1 school, he'd be a first round pick. The issue is people don't know about him, and his measurables at the combine is going to set it off for him. So he's number 2, and number 3 is TCU Clark. Okay, and then Michael Taft will be probably the next guy. Okay,
so cornerback. Who are we looking at? I'm sure Delane and McCoy are going to be gone. So you're looking at Avion Terrell from Clemson, Colton Hood from Tennessee, Brandon Cease from South Carolina, and Keith Abney from Arizona State, and then the last one, D'Angelo Ponce. Out of those 4, who are we looking at?
I'm taking Pons in the second, probably in the third. Pons he's gonna measure about 5'9" and some change, 5'10".
5'8".
Put the tape on. Go put the tape on.
He's about 5'8", bro.
No, he's gonna measure about 5'9" and 3/4.
He's gonna
measure about 5'9" and 3/4. He's not gonna be 5'10".
He's gonna
but go put the tape on. Go put the tape on.
Where do you play him, G? Where do you play
corner, slot corner. He shuts it down.
You play him at slot corner?
Slot corner.
Definitely
slot corner. Yeah, slot, and he shuts it down. You're not getting nothing on him.
You're confident in having him in the slot.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Now
you know, a monster, bro.
You know that there are some taller wide receivers in the slot sometimes.
Bro, if Pons was 6 foot tall, he'd be a top 5 pick. That's how good he is. If he was 6 foot tall, he'd be a top 5 pick. Pons is, and this is what you're going to see at the combine too. Pons has got a 6'2" wingspan. He's 5'9", but he's 6'3" this way. And that 6'2", 6'3" this way, and that's what matters.
And that makes a difference.
He's 6'2", 6'3" this way. Yeah, give me Pons, man. Give me Pons.
I like Pons. He'd probably be third on my list. The boy out of Clemson would be 1, and then
Terrell.
Yeah, and Terrell, and then Hood out of Tennessee would be 2. Then Pons would be 3. But yeah, and I think Pons is the second round. I think the other 2 are my 2 first round corners. When I said the top 2 corners, if I get one of them opposite Joey Porter, and as far as bringing back, I prefer. If you don't bring both back, I prefer Samuel over Pierre. Big G. That's because Samuel's younger. He's of a higher pedigree. Pierre was undrafted, been hanging on by being on special teams, had a good year last year. It'd be cheap, but you know, my all-time go-to all the time. I want talent in my room. I want that second round pick of Asante Samuel with pedigree. His dad was an all-pro and a Super Bowl champion for the Eagles and the Patriots. I need that in my room over Pierre, even though I like Pierre and I like what he did and I like his story. Talent.
So Reggie said he traded one of my third round picks for a young corner to it. Yeah, if you could get it off, but teams ain't trading for corners. So they ain't getting that up.
Listen to this, G. 54% of our viewers said that we don't sign Gainwell back. They believe that we don't sign Gainwell back.
That should be like 80%.
40%, 46% say that we do. So in this whole thing, you know that I'll say this, Terrell's projected to run a 4.3, right? This is a guy who's really not that tall, probably like 5'10", You know what I'm saying? Scrappy youngster. When you put the tape on, scrappy. I'm talking about he's feisty. You know what I'm saying?
His tape ain't that good. I was watching some earlier. His tape ain't that good.
He's feisty, G. He ain't now hold on. He's feisty for a person that you would put in the same position that you said you would have pawns in. That would be the guy that I would put in slot corner. Why? Because you're not getting past him. To me, you're not getting past him.
Clemson got lit up like Christmas trees all day and night and twice on Sunday. I ain't taking no
talking
Clemson.
about Terrell.
I'm talking about Terrell. Yeah.
Yeah, well, he's a first round pick. I would take him over Pons too, but if I'm looking at corner, I'm probably thinking second round unless he's there. If he's there, you take him. I agree. If he's there,
go ahead, Tate.
I was gonna say real quick. If he's there, I'm take him over both y'all offensive linemen, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because just because how it worked. Now I'm gonna pay Joey Porter this year. He under contract. Get you a rookie that's gonna be a dog that you can pay later. Online, they all together. Them boys gonna come up for pay soon. All of them. All of you gotta start thinking forward thinking. It's chess, not checkers.
LSU corner probably should be number one.
Mansour Delane's gonna be gone.
Yep, and number 2 should be McCoy out of Tennessee. There's your top 2 corners. Both of those guys should be going to top 15.
Yeah,
and then after that, then we'll see. But there's your top 2 corners.
All right, so if we have to get a green dot linebacker, and the green dot, we get rid of Queen, he's gone. Who are we getting at green dot at 21? G,
please, if any of the football gods is listening, let Sonny Styles fall to 21. Please,
he's not gonna get past 12. G.
But I know, but if any of them are listening, please let Sonny Styles make it to 21.
Tell me about Sonny Styles, bro.
Oh my God, Doc! Listen, he was a safety at first. Most people don't even know this. He was 17 years old. He did not play his senior year in high school. He went directly to Ohio State and started at safety against Georgia in the dang on bowl game and gave Brock Bowers hell. He was a safety. But they just kept getting bigger and bigger. I'm telling you right now, they say 6'4", 243 on the thing. He's going to measure closer to 6'5", 250, and he runs like a deer. He runs like a deer. You can put him in any position. You can put him not at the green dot. You can put him right beside the green dot, and he's going to dominate. He's downhill, and there's no slot receiver. There's no tight end that's getting open. You can forget it. And when he comes downhill, a lot of bad intent, bro. Give me Sonny. If he's there 21, please, just one time for me. Just one time for me, man.
Let me clarify what 11-inch broad jump is. Standing broad jump.
That's a 4.4.
That's power in your lower legs. And that equals when you're going to take on a block or you're going to tackle somebody. That type of power you want to see. And he has a 40-inch vertical. That's just stupid.
Also,
that makes no sense.
As far as the Steelers go, and I think it's still a Steelers thing, even though Mike Tomlin's not there, but it started and it's been going on for years. That's pedigree also. His dad was a pro.
Lorenzo Styles Sr. The Ohio State Buckeyes. But yeah, and I'm not biased about this because there's some other green dots. There's Hill, there's Rodriguez, there's a lot of green dots. Fields.
So in the third, Rodriguez is available. You run the card up?
Hell yeah.
I do.
With the quickness.
And his coach in Pittsburgh.
Yeah. With the quickness. Run the card up there. But I don't think he's gonna be there though.
You think he's fast enough? They got him listed as a 4.7.
Man, Rodriguez is a football player.
Yeah, for what the Steelers need. I mean, he's fast enough. He make plays. Look at the tape. He make plays.
Put him in the matrix. I'll put him. Go ahead. Keep talking. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Tate.
No, I was just saying, I mean, I like Rodriguez. His coach is there. Middle linebacker. See, the thing is, I'm still a believer in Patrick Queen, though. I know he might didn't play up to the expectations you thought, but a new system. He's only 26 years old. Before you got him under contract for one more year. Even if it don't work, you keep them. You see what it look like. Then you can go to the next year. Don't create another hole for yourself. You either got to pay somebody else in free agency or draft somebody. See what Patrick Queen is in his last year, and maybe he playing good, and you go ahead and rework his contract and bring him back for cheaper. You know? But I mean, as far as the linebackers go, Sonny Styles would be, and I'm with G. I mean, on this one, I wasn't early. I don't believe. I was like, we don't need linebacker. If he get to 21, player like that, even a receiver there, I got to get that.
Yeah.
Even a receiver, even if Boston there, even if Tyson there, if that's there, I got to get that. But as a linebacker, a transcendent linebacker, not because you're just a great offensive lineman. I done spent two first rounds and a second round on my line the past 3 years. So I can't go back in there and keep just line. You know what I mean? Defensive line. Keanu Benson, defensive lineman that was drafted early. I mean, we got to shift some of the resources to one of the skill positions, receiver, defensive back, like that. My thought.
So question for you too. If you got Rodriguez there and Torian York there, and you got to pick between the two, who are we going in the third round? Who are we going with?
I think the production's there for both of them. Texas A&M linebacker, but he's a little fella. He's about 5'10", about 228, 229. Now, but the production's there. You go put the tape on at Texas A&M, he's a problem in the middle. But I just like Rodriguez better, man. I think you could put a Rodriguez next to a Patrick Queen, and it might be able to work in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, right? I'm not saying Torian York you couldn't put beside him, but I'm always going to go on what I saw, how a green dot means that I lead the defense. Like I'm calling all the sets, all the formations, and I think that's what Patrick Queen needs. I think Patrick Queen needs a guy that he can take that green dot off of him and put a green dot on another guy. And now he can run and do all, because his best years is when he wasn't the green dot of Baltimore. So you got to take the green dot off Queen if you're going to keep him and put a linebacker next to him that's a legit green dot. So I like Rodriguez better, me personally.
Tate?
Another one of the times. I mean, lightning going to fall out the sky, because I agree with Big G and Claude in the same day 2 times.
Wow.
But yeah, man, I got to agree with Big G. Rodriguez, your boy York, he 5'10", like 215. He's a safety. He's a strong safety, huh?
He's 5'10", 227. He's
217. Okay.
Nah, he's put together.
But that's
tiny.
I can get that in the strong safety, a box safety. I can get that in a box safety. That's Deshaun Elliott. I got that. You know what I mean? I need that dude in the middle of the defense. We talking about a playmaker on defense, a Heisman Trophy candidate. I don't care about his 4.7. I seen him make plays. You know what I mean? I seen he didn't do it last year. Thinking of new coaching, I seen Peyton Wilson make plays in college. We talking about with they drafted Rodriguez and Peyton, we'd have 2 Buckets Award winners in our linebackers. You know what I mean?
My sneaky, and you know, I don't like trading draft capital. But if we get through day 1 evaluations and we haven't addressed the middle linebacker and they reset the board in day 2, if Anthony Hill's on the board out of the University of Texas, trade to go get him. Whatever you got to get up to go get him. Go early in the top 5 picks in the second round and draft Anthony Hill, middle linebacker, University of Texas.
I like Hill. My second mock draft, I took him first, but I traded back twice. I think I got him at like 33. I traded back 2 times, but because when it was at 21, it wasn't nobody there that you know, I might as well trade back and give me a couple more picks. And I did that in my second mock draft that I did. And I got Hill at 33, 34. So I like that.
Yeah. I think there's somebody that y'all overlooking, and I think he's going to be really good in the pros. He's an old school linebacker, and that's Josiah Trotter out of the University of Missouri. You'll be able to get him in the 3rd round. I think he's going to be an all-pro before it's all over with. 6'2", he'll probably run like a 4.5, 4.6 40. But hey, he roams the middle like a shark, a great white. And the boy got bad intentions. You know
Missouri's defense, but Missouri's a standard 4-3 defense. And see, me personally, I'm not saying it can't happen, but if I didn't see you play in a 3-4 set in college, it's going to be hard for me to see you in a 3-4 set in the NFL. You know, I'm not saying it can't happen because it does happen. But when you start talking about scheming a guy and putting him in position to do the best things that he possibly can do, I want a guy that played in a 3-4. So you know, Ohio State, Sonny Styles, he played in a 3-4. Rodriguez played in a 3-4 down at Texas A&M. I mean, at Texas Tech. Texas split back and forth between a 4-3 and a 3-4. So I want a guy that played that position, even in a hybrid defense. I don't want necessarily, and that's what Trotter is. Trotter is a traditional middle linebacker in a 4-3 set.
So last
is he related to Jeremiah Trotter?
I'm not sure. I know Jeremiah Trotter's oldest son got drafted 2 years ago in the National Football League. Jeremiah Trotter Jr. This kid might be. I'm not sure.
I'll check that out. But Jake Golday from Cincinnati, University of Cincinnati. My last question. What do you guys think about him?
He was recruited hard by Ohio State. Hell, half Cincinnati's players was Buckeyes. Joe Royer, prior to running back, and they was all Buckeyes.
Hold up, G. He's Jeremiah Trotter's son. Yeah,
he is Jeremiah. Yeah.
Okay.
I knew Jeremiah Trotter already got junior in the league, so this is his second son.
Yeah.
Right.
So go ahead,
right.
G.
But the Cincinnati running back, Cincinnati linebacker, he's good. He's serviceable. We can get him in the 3rd or the 4th round. But I don't know. When you build your roster between the 3rd and the 7th, right?
Hey,
but a day one starter, maybe
6'4", 4'5", 240 pounds.
Is he better than Pace that played at Cincinnati a couple years ago? No.
I can't say that.
No, he's not.
I can't say that at all. Pace is a dog.
He's not better than Pace.
He's playing in Minnesota right now. I can't. Oh, did you get fined? Yo, you got fined.
I didn't get fined. I just get ready to say something. I saw it on mute, but I was saying it's a dude, and we won him a couple years ago. Big G. He played at Arkansas, linebacker, transferred to Arkansas, a linebacker, kind of like Peyton Wilson. This guy. White guy. You don't remember what I'm talking about?
I do. I just don't remember.
I can't call his name right off the top of my head.
Yeah, I remember. He was a dog, but
I'll look it up.
Yeah. But no, what round we talking about for Galladay?
3rd?
Nah.
3rd round pick?
Nah.
For my first 4th, though, I grab him.
Yeah.
My first 4th, I grab him.
He's going to be gone by the 4th.
Oh, well, I don't need him then. Again, prioritizing. I like him. Yeah. I could take him at 99. Peyton Wilson went at 99, but I don't need him. I need something else at 99. That might be my second receiver in the draft at 99.
Like it. Shoot, or hell, the 3rd maybe.
Right, could be
the 3rd receiver. You know,
could be. All right, fine. Hey, parting shots, G. Talk to me, man.
Listen, man. Everybody knows. First of all, let me say this. Thank all you guys for rocking with us, man. We had a great show today, good interaction with the audience. We thank all you guys for your comments, everything you put up, the super chats that you did. We appreciate it. We're at about 1.5K subs. I think we need 1 or 2 more, and we're at 1.5K. The goal is to get to 2.5 by the start of the NFL draft. So we got about a month and a half. We got to do some serious grinding. So without y'all, we can't do it. So make sure you like, follow, share all the different content across the board from the KnoItAllz podcast channel. I'll be back tomorrow with a new show at 6:00 p.m. The Minutes to Yins, man. It's Steelers-centric, all Pittsburgh Steelers. There's our topic tomorrow. Does Omar Khan, how can he clean up the mess that was left by Mr. Kevin Colbert? Because we're on year 4, and it's still a lot of mess to clean up. So how is he going to be able to clean up the mess? I have a different special guest every week. My inaugural show this week, where the Triple OG Shannon White will be my initial special guest tomorrow. Minutes to Yin, 6:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Final thoughts is this. I would be wrong if I was on a sports show and did not mention the travesty of what happened with Rondale Moore. Rondale Moore was a 25-year-old wide receiver that played in the National Football League, got drafted by Arizona, was currently playing for the Minnesota Vikings. And apparently, what all stories are saying is that he took his own life, right? At 25, I cannot imagine. I have a 23-year-old, 24-year-old, and 27-year-old children, 3 kids. And I could not imagine losing one of my kids. I mean, when I heard it yesterday, I was shook because I turned and I looked at my kids and I was like, what was going on in this young man's mind to have that much pressure on his life to where he took his own life? It's very unfortunate, man, right? And I think that's why I got my bracelets on today. You know, we got to stop the stigma, man, about mental health disparities and about things that's going on with people, man. That's what I do in my personal life, away from podcasting and all whatever else. I'm a counselor therapist, right? And I think that a lot of times there's a stigma to where people don't feel comfortable enough with bringing up issues that's really bothering them, right? And more, we're starting to see mental health disparities present themselves. Now, I don't know. I didn't diagnose this young man. I don't know if there's a diagnosis for him. But suicide is definitely one of those diagnosed things that happen in the world that I come from. And normally, suicides just don't happen randomly. Normally, there's some things that happen that led up to it, including continued trauma that occurred and happened to him over and over and over again. Y'all, my heart goes out to his family. My heart goes out to the Purdue family. Man, this kid was a great football player. I remember he tore Ohio State's behind up, you know, 1 year with Urban Meyer. You know, Rondell Moore, man, rest in peace, man. We're praying for your family. And like I said, man, please stop the stigma concerning mental health disparities across the board. If you need somebody to talk to, find somebody to talk to. Reach out to anybody, because sometimes just reaching out can get you in front of the correct person that can actually provide you the help that you need. We got to stop the stigma concerning mental health and all whatever else, because we just lost another young kid that had a bright future. And like I said, I think about my children every time I think about this young man, and I'm like, man, he was 25 and he's gone. So that's my final thoughts, man.
Yeah, man. And I appreciate you for bringing that to light. Definitely we pray for his family. Prayers up. But, you know, I'm going to tell you like this, you know, before he said, great point, G, he needed to make a weekly trip to the Matrix. I understood that he needed to make a trip to the Matrix because of
what
this.
What did Claude say?
He said, none of you fake draft gurus said anything about drafting a nose tackle, which would make Queen an all-pro caliber linebacker.
Mark, can I take care of him, please?
Yeah, we've talked about this before, but go ahead. Send him.
No. Well, first we have to recognize who Claude Bishop is.
Let's recognize him. And then
we're going to recognize I'm telling y'all, for all y'all listeners and viewers, it's the Jedi mind trick. He's waving his hand. So, Claude, let's expose you. Claude, you're Palpatine, bro. We know. You're the evil emperor, and this is the domain that you run.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained?
No.
You got gold.
He needed to go. He needed his weekly fix. That's all. We just needed to give him his medicine. Hey, that's all. He's fine now. Yeah. Tate, talk to me, man. Parting shots, brother.
I said something specifically about defensive lineman and offensive lineman and my priorities. I said that.
Fact.
But no, Big G, great points. I was going to mention Rondell Moore. Big G kind of covered that. We do have a Jag 2G coming up this week also, and we actually talked about that a little bit on that show. We got into one of the side topics. The topic is the evolution of the athlete. Check that out Thursday, 9 p.m. But what we got into during that show was if there's a correlation between, because it seems like a higher suicide rate in football than other sports. We know across all genres, all demographics, all, everything that this happens, mental wellness issues and things like that. It happens. But with the young man in Dallas earlier in the year, we know players like Junior Seau, Dave Durson, old all-time pros, Pittsburgh Steelers, Justin Strelzik, all that kind of stuff. All these players, ex-players, have committed suicide. So we just briefly talked about if there's a correlation. Interesting discussion. Some of it we thought that it could be, just the bravado of the locker room. Like when you have a problem, you condition because you're supposed to go through pain, play when you're hurt, all that kind of stuff. You try and get through stuff yourself, and maybe you don't take time out to look at it another way outside of the scope of football. So check that out. That's part of the discussion Thursday. But no, as far as my parting shot, definitely rest in peace, Rondell Moore. But I wanted to give a rest in peace and respect to the Reverend Jesse Jackson. Jesse Jackson, iconic leader, civil rights leader, was obviously also a reverend, therefore the Reverend Jesse Jackson. To me, as far as my spirit, my world of knowledge and stuff go, is the last direct connection to Dr. Martin Luther King. He was on the balcony with Martin Luther King when he was assassinated in Memphis, Tennessee. He and John Lewis, who passed away a few years ago, Congressman John Lewis, walked across the Selma Bridge with him, Edmund Pettus Bridge in Selma, Alabama with him back in the day. Mm-hmm. He ran for president 2 times. In 84, in 88, he showed up well as a change into the primaries and stuff. Used to be winner take all in every state in the primary voting for the candidates for each party. He got that change where we now have proportionate voting. So you get your parts of the vote depending on what state. You get your delegates, is what they're called. So he was big in that. He was the first serious black candidate, African-American candidate to run for president, finishing second in the 88 Democratic nomination to Michael Dukakis, who eventually lost to Bush 1. But he's done so much more in the civil rights movement, the Rainbow Coalition, the world peace talks with different leaders. He got involved in a lot of stuff, and he always would try to do what's right. He famously, when I was young, on Sesame Street. Mm-hmm. Yes, on Sesame Street, told all the kids, "You are somebody." Was his message to everybody, no matter where you come from, you are somebody. So he always tried to build people up. It stands out to me in Grant Park on a Tuesday in early November in 2008, when Barack Obama was won the nomination for president of the United States. Jesse Jackson was there crying. You seen film of him crying because he never thought he'd see that day. You know what I mean? And he kind of opened the door for that. So, just want to shout him out. He'll be missed. We got people like Al Sharpton. I'm a fan of Al Sharpton, of his knowledge and stuff. I'm not as big a believer in Al Sharpton as some of the past civil rights leaders, though I think he does good work. But he's not a monolith. Al Sharpton doesn't speak for all black people, though I respect him and respect his teachings. I don't always agree with Al on everything, but people like him, it's not time to let their legacies die. It's time to pick their legacies up and continue to march on as we go forward into the future, as we're dealing with a lot of drawbacks and pullbacks now with the current conditions of the United States, the current administration, where these things are needed. So just stand up, respect the past, continue to carry the good things from the past into the future.
All right. Love it, man. Love it. Thomas, thank you so much for the $10. We appreciate you, buddy. Definitely good to see you in the chat. I want to make sure that you guys, if you haven't had a chance, like I said, make sure that if you want to be a member, the memberships are wide open and available. And you can
get a Tate membership. Tell them about the Tate membership, Ma.
The Tate membership is the know-it-all. You know it all. You can know some, and you can just
who is no some? Who is no some?
I'm no some.
And what is Big G?
G's know a little.
Please, and, y'all smoking ganja. Please.
Who am I, Ma?
Hey
everybody, just like it was an escort service, I get the most. So get Tate's membership.
Claude said, Claude. Great speech. you guys, I want to make sure that you know about the upcoming shows that we have coming and that are going to be later on this week. We got the Keeping It 100 show. G, tell them about that.
Keeping It 100, man. Live New Day interaction with the Yenzies across the board Tuesday at 12 p.m. You know, who's going to be the Steelers' target in the draft? I mean, we'll be well into, and the conversation we had today is like the prelude, but we'll be well into like draft talk, who's the risers, who's the fallers, who the Pittsburgh Steelers go after. And listen, there's going to be a lot of talk because there's going to be some separation between Steelers Nation this year because a lot of Steelers want offense, but some saying it's defense, and we're going to find out. So I'm anxious to have all you guys in the live chat and live interaction on Tuesday. We're keeping it 100, 12 o'clock noon Eastern Standard Time, right here on the KnoItAllz podcast channel.
And on Monday, tomorrow at noon, Mod's Unbiased Opinion, where we get together and we talk. Should the Steelers wait on Aaron Rodgers? That's a big question. It's a Q&A. So I want to know, you guys talk with me, meet with me here at noon tomorrow, and we'll talk about should the Steelers wait on Aaron Rodgers. And then, of course, we have Tate's Take coming back. He said, I told you so back then. Tate, talk to us. Talk to us on this.
You got the big mute.
The big fun.
I see them.
Nobody else saw me. Y'all just see the little box down at the bottom. You can't find me.
I dry snitched.
What I was nah, you straight snitched.
Yeah, I did.
A dry snitch is on accident. We've talked about this before. But far as Tate's Take, I'm gonna talk about, and Big G's talking about it on Keeping It 100 about Omar Khan cleaning up the mess that Kevin Colbert mess. I'm going to talk about the mess, the last mess he left, the biggest mess, drafting Kenny Pickett, and how we have a chance to make the right choice and fix it now by going to get Malik Willis. Big G, I'm on board with you now, man. I see in chat rooms and all kinds of stuff, too many people are on this Will Howard train.
Yes.
Like really, you should just give Will Howard the starting job is what people are saying.
Yes. No. And the answer is
no.
So, yeah, I mean, literally pump your brakes will be later this week too, but y'all need to pump y'all brakes on that one. And you know me and G's Ohio State guys. You can't say he biased about Ohio State, then when he say sit Will Howard, then what? The bias just going for Will Howard? Like it's so nah. Will Howard needs to earn it, like Big G said several times. And I'm just not giving him that position. He's still a 6th-round pick. 6th-round picks don't always hit. Now, will he get a chance in camp? Yeah. So yeah, that's Tate's Take. I'm gonna talk about why we need Malik Willis.
Ma about to get the big fine. His microphone is muted. I don't know what he's over there talking about.
Yappy.
He went off. He went out. I think his internet went out. It's that diabolical time of the year, bro. But yeah, Tate's Take is gonna be a good show, man, this week. What the heck is this?
We all went out.
What is going on?
Oh, you know what? No, we ain't go out, Big G. He got it on that screen. That's all. He changed.
No, he changed devices and all whatever else. Being diabolical. Where my fine sign at, man? I ain't gave out a fine sign in a minute. Where the fine at, Ma? What you doing over there? Get the big fine. Get it.
Man.
Big fine.
Yeah, so that's then Wednesday, G and myself be back with the homie Curb on Smash the Gas. My Tate's Take is early. Smash the Gas is Wednesday, 7:15. Pump your brakes. Me and Shannon, Triple OG. My mod made us a new graphic. I like it. I ain't shared it with Shannon yet. I'm gonna surprise him on Wednesday, like that cover mod. And me and my homegirl Devin gonna be on the Steelers Coast to Coast on Thursday. The homies Friday. We're back here Sunday. Oh, no. Jag 2G. Just told you about it Thursday night at 9:00. Check that out. And Big G on Almighty on Friday. The homies on Friday. And we back here next Sunday. And there's a week worth, and it could be stuff in the middle. Check the shorts, check the reel, check everything out, and get that Tate Dog membership because it's the most expensive one. It's like the VIP of KnoItAllz memberships.
Look here, you guys. Hey, sorry about the computer mess up today. Just now, G had one, I had one. It is what it is.
Tate
But
didn't
we
have
had
one.
what?
Tate didn't have one because he got the good Wi-Fi in the VIP. Y'all come on.
No,
in.
I had nothing.
Yeah,
Listen, I got a brand new Tate. I done came to the
froze.
dark side.
Dark side,
froze.
MacBook.
You froze today.
Hey,
But anyway,
you did
hey.
freeze, but your mouth won't beat you. Go back and watch. You froze.
Hey, we appreciate
What's
you
snowing
guys.
outside?
It is what it is. We appreciate you guys for being with us. Thank you for taking out time to spend some time with the Know-It-Alls. I feel like that you have had the opportunity to know it all. So we'll be back here, same bat time, same bat channel. Oh, and check the membership lines because, like I said, I am uploading about 4 or 5 sets of all 22 film. Jordan Tyson. I'm uploading film on Denzel Boston. And there's 2 other people I'm uploading some film on, and that'll be in there within the next 20 to 25 minutes. So members, make sure you check the membership line. We will talk to you guys same bat time, same bat channel. We appreciate you for being a part of the Know It All Nation. Peace.